guys, and welcome back to a brand new video here on To Ordinary Guys. Hope you guys are well. Over the time of doing YouTube and documenting my journey to go to university to become a paramedic, I've had so many questions on, what subjects have you done for university, how did you get on at school and stuff like that. And I thought I wanted to portray a message that you don't need all the best A levels to go to university and go and get into paramedic science. Instead of replying to each and every single comment of you guys, I wanted to record a video and address it publicly. But before we get into this video, I would like to say every week I'm going to be recording, every Tuesday maybe, a video related to either nursing or paramedic science. If you guys haven't really been following my journey, I wanted to be a paramedic, and halfway through my paramedic science degree, I had a massive career change and decided to go into nursing. So that is a different video, I'll leave it here. But just for you guys to know, really, every week on a Tuesday will be a related video to that subject. A little backstory. So I went to school and finished school around, I think it's 2016. I finished school with, I failed maths. I got a G in my maths, which I didn't even think was possible. I really struggled with maths. I left with English literature, C, and a D in English language, or a D in English literature and a C in English language, or one. I can't really remember which one was around. I left with drama, a BTEC in drama, and a catering BTEC in drama in catering. Overall, I failed maths. I passed one of my English, and I scraped a C in science. Now, I didn't do very well in school, and I left school feeling really confused. I didn't really know where to go next. But there was one thing that I knew I wanted to do, and that was to go into the ambulance service, and I wanted to go to university. Now, absolutely my first tip would be to try really hard at school and focus on mainly the core subjects, maths, English and science. If you get, just a C grade in this, then you will kind of scrape off years, and that's really important. That I want to say is it won't mean that you won't go to university. It'll just mean that you're saving maybe 2 or 3 years of your next, career, should I say. You could go straight from school, then to college, even pick up some A levels or BTEC, and then go to university, rather than if you don't get the core subjects, you might have to take them at college alongside your course that you've chosen to do A levels or BTECs. So you've just finished school and you have not very good grades like myself. You failed maths, you failed English, and maybe you failed science as well. So for me personally, what I did is I did some research. So I looked around at all of the universities locally that I would probably like to go to that accepted maybe functional skills, English and maths and science, applied science and stuff like that, and also BTEC equivalents. If you're watching this video now, after this video, go and find all of the universities, that are doing paramedic science that take, functional skills, English and maths, maybe an applied science or a science equivalent. This might be a public service course or something like that, and also take a BTEC course. This might be a level 3 extended diploma in health and social care, for example. Now, the third tip really is really important, and it kind of puts you ahead of everyone else, and that's being willing to work and work for what you do. So you just finished school, like I said, and you haven't really got the grades, and it is very, it's very low feeling. I've been there. I know exactly how it feels, and it's really important then to get someone like your mum, your dad, or your friends, or just yourself, and write down the options that you have now, because what's happened at school now is gone, it's happened, and you can't change that. Write down all of your options, so all your subjects, all the things that you've achieved. For example, you might have, I don't know, a D in English language, and science, maths, blah. And then look at all the universities that you would like to go to locally that accept all of the equivalent things that I mentioned, functional skills, BTECs and stuff like that. So how I perceive it really is just starting from the bottom. So people who finish school and have really good grades, all the GCSEs, they're basically starting very high up in the pack, and they get to go on to college, and kind of skip that probation period, should I say, whether myself, I finished school and needed to put more work in. So I went away from school. I was bullied through school. Kind of forgot to mention that. I was bullied throughout school, so I didn't really enjoy school. So it was kind of refreshing for me to leave the environment of school and kind of go on and go into college. And that'll be the next thing, really, is what you need to do then is, I would really, really recommend, and this is just not, you know, I'm not saying everyone to do this, but functional skills, English and maths. Now, I'm going to probably do another video on A-levels and BTECs, but on my personal experiences, BTEC, I did a level 3 extended BTEC in health and social care. So I think that was like it was level 3 extended diploma in health and social care. I achieved D star, D star, D, which is A star, A star, A equivalent in A-levels, which if I left college and when I left school, I never thought I'd have an equivalent of an A star, A star, A for, you know, against my record, against my name. That's absolutely incredible. Well, now people who went to school with, and they went the similar path, but they chose the A-level route. They did A-levels and they really, really struggled, and I think they got like BBC, which is really, really, really good. But I am kind of equivalent to that now. I'm not saying all universities accept equivalent, and that's what I'm saying, you need to do the researching, but just because it is, you know, it's an equivalent for a reason, and you still get the same knowledge. But most of mine was coursework related, so I didn't have one exam other than my maths and English that I did alongside my college course. So that's what I was saying, is when I went to college, instead of me skipping the probation period, I went to college and studied level 2 public services. Now this gave me an equivalent of, I think it was 2 or 3 GCSEs. So I already had one of my Englishes and one of my science, and the public services then allowed me to have 5 GCSEs equivalent to a C. This then allowed me to apply again to my local college and study an equivalent of an A-level or 3 A-levels, which was, like I mentioned before, level 3 health and social care. Extended diploma. I left college, like I mentioned, with D star, D star, D, which is an equivalent to A star, A star, A. So then I left college. I keep saying university. I left college in a really, really good position. Now, for 3 or 4 years prior to this, I had 2 GCSEs, and it didn't look very good on my record because I had science. And the English I had, I couldn't apply to university with because it wasn't the correct English. I needed the other English. I think it was English language I needed. I had English literature, or one of the two. I was in a very bad position, but I didn't dwell on this. I looked at all the stuff I needed to do, and I just went for it. And that's what you need to do, is write everything you need to do and just go for it. In the meantime of doing college, now this is really, really important, and I feel as though this helped me a lot in the interview days, is so now you've seen the equivalents GCSEs, universities, and the universities that you're interested to go to, maybe there's 5 or 6. Attend every single open day that they run. Now, I'm not saying go if it's, you know, in your college time or your school time, but it's really, really important for the lecturers to know your face and ask, you know, all the relevant questions, and just go there and learn about the university. Because if you learn about the university and you meet the lecturers and you get to know them more on a personal level, if that makes sense, and you start to talk to them at the open days, when you have the interview, and I'm just talking from my personal experience, when you have the interview, it will feel more of a chat. You've already met this person, rather than you're going straight from school and having a really, you know, formal interview with a complete stranger. You've already met this person. You've already asked the questions. They weren't as formal as they were on your interview day than they were on the open day. They were more friendly. They were more approachable, and just kind of picture them then in your interview, and that really, really helps. I had a favourite university. Mine was the University of Worcester. I went to every single open day they ran until they knew my name, until they knew my face. Now, I didn't have probably as good grades as everyone else, maybe not as good experience, but they certainly knew who I was, and they certainly knew that I was committed to the programme, because they knew my face, and they knew every single open day they run, I was there. And I kept making jokes out of it, saying I'm here again, and, you know, I'm really interested, blah blah blah. And then I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks before my interview, they run the last open day, and I went to that one, and, you know, I was saying, you know, I've got an interview, blah blah blah, and just dropping the hints, you know, say that I've got an interview, so they remember you. And that's the main point, is make sure you're remembered. Now, the last tip for me is a really, really important one as well, and it's kind of the most important one, is everyone has their own reason why they want to be a paramedic. And a lot of people will, you know, watch YouTube and just kind of structure their answers around what the YouTubers kind of say, and what the group pages might say, or what a friend say, you know, say this is really, really important and stuff. And I feel as though if someone was to ask me now why I want to be a paramedic, I will tell them, and it would be a very unique thing because I have past experience that I can relate to. And I feel as though if you can tell a story why you want to be a paramedic, you can tell a story why you want to go to this university because they have X, Y, and Z, and this, you know, this makes you want to go to that university. If you can relay your answers to experiences that you've had in life and why you want to go to that university, it makes you different from the crowd. And this goes a long, long, long way, rather than having better grades than someone else. And I think that's really important, because people feel as though to go to university you need to have really good grades, and don't get me wrong, you do. You need five GCSEs equivalent to A to C, and you also need equivalent to 3 A-levels at whatever your university will require you to have. And that's the research that you need to do at the first stage of what I mentioned beforehand, as you guys know. I hope this video has helped, and if you have any more questions, drop them down in the comments. On my next video, next Tuesday, I will kind of just answer some of the questions that you guys have dropped down in the comments, and then I'll do another video. I don't know what video it will kind of be yet, but it will be kind of related to this kind of topic, maybe a personal statement video, or things I wish I knew before going to university, or something like that. So if you're interested, please drop down in the comments, and I will be answering every single question like I always do. And make sure you subscribe down below. I'll catch you guys in the next video.